If you've ever gone through anything traumatic, believe in the universe, and also have the Time Hop app, this post is for you. I just cried my eyes out in the shower. And I debated whether or not I wanted to sit here and read a book, sit in silence and continue crying, or come on the internet and cry for you, because I know everything happens to me for a reason. And if I don't always share my story, it's pointless. So here we go. Today is the anniversary of me closing not 1, not 2, not 3, but 6 medical malpractice legal cases by myself. I had 2 diseases I was misdiagnosed with that I was overdosed with chemo with, and like 13 other meds that I'm still healing from. Anyway, it's the anniversary. Last night I was making banana chocolate chip bread, like pasta, meat sauce, and I was in so much pain, and I can take a lot of pain. My pain level was like a 10, 11, 12, something like that. Like it was unbearable, where I basically blacked out. And these things happen to me whenever like meds are involved, or if I get sick or anything like that, because of my PTSD from being misdiagnosed. Sound healing does wonders for that, by the way. I highly recommend the Copper Vessel Susie if you do not know anything about sound baths. I actually posted something about it in one of my last videos earlier when I was crying my eyes out and being super emotional. Anyway, back to my story. I like blacked out. Like, it was so weird. My ears were killing me. My right ear. And growing up as a kid, my left ear always hurt. I always had like tubes in and out of them and just always getting middle ear infections. I grew up with a pool and I was always swimming and just always got ear infections, and it sucked as a kid because I had a June birthday, and I swear half my childhood I had swimmer's ear, and I would have to like sit out at my own pool parties. It's so crazy how we remember like specific details of our childhood. So anyway, I'm working on that too. My right ear a couple months ago had the worst ear infection. I had to go find a new ENT here in Las Vegas. So last night my ears just started hurting, and I was in the pool, but not for so long, and I didn't go under because I didn't want to ruin my new hair color. So I'm like, how did I get water in my ear? I just started getting vertigo, like out of nowhere. And I always got vertigo as one of the symptoms from like withdrawing from like really heavy meds, but I could feel the water in my ear. And if you've ever had an ear issue, it's like that, like your ear is ringing. It sounds like it has like a heartbeat. You can hear like the tingling. I kept putting my head in between my legs. Like I needed to pop this ear, but I couldn't even chew gum. I couldn't swallow. I could barely blow my nose. Like the level of my ear pain was like a 10. Then it went to an 11 and a 12. And I'm like, I have to lie down. I have to lie down. I could not take it any longer. So my ears started leaking fluids, and I woke up, there was like a little bit of blood. I know it's so gross, but I'm just going to keep it real with you. And I was like, what the hell? My eardrum burst. Like I just knew it. And this has happened to me on a plane, by the way. So I know this chronic stabbing pain in my eardrum. Years ago when I worked overseas, I would fly every single week, and I had to rely on hydrocodone to like get me from 10,000 feet to back to 0 and be able to do my job as a makeup artist like in an hour and a half later, because my ears would just kill. And in my 20s, I honestly was telling somebody this story earlier, and I couldn't remember like exactly when because it's happened a couple times, but my eardrum burst on planes, and I would just scream, and they'd be like, what is happening? And this was before like crazy plane things would happen. Anyway, I know the feeling. So I woke up and I was like, okay, my ear doesn't have pain. Like, and I was knocked out. Oh, and in the middle of the night, I was like covered in a pool of sweat. I'm like, I have some kind of infection. My body is fighting something. Like, what the F is happening to my body right now? And turns out I already had a doctor's appointment, so they checked my ears, and my eardrum did burst, so I sound like nasally and weird right now because of that. But my ear hurts, and now I'm on like the strongest antibiotic that I could get for it because it's that bad. Today is the anniversary from my time hop, I realized today, of closing my 6 medical malpractice legal cases. If you are going through something traumatic, if you have gone through something traumatic, you better have this time hop app or journal or a calendar or dates, because your body remembers trauma. I've done so many podcast episodes on this. I've spoken to experts about this. I've researched so much and I've done videos, but every time something happens to my body now, it's always on the date that something bad has happened because your body always remembers trauma. I wish that I knew, like, I need to research more experts, and if you are one, like, please chime in. Like, when will this end? Because there's so much trauma I've experienced in my life, and I just, like, I don't need my eardrum bursting to remind me that I went through a traumatic 6 years straight of my life, you know? And then to top it off, which I didn't even realize this morning, I should have known. I knew I was going to get emotional and cry. I got a message from somebody from the Guthrie Jackson Foundation. It's for NMO. It's one of the diseases I had. And normally you're misdiagnosed with MS first, then you have an NMO, neuromyelitis optica. You're supposed to be blind and paralyzed from it. Well, you are. I was misdiagnosed with both of them, so I'm completely healthy, minus my earburst situation that I'm dealing with right now. So they were reaching out for me to share my story. And I'm like, oh, I feel like I already have, but actually I was misdiagnosed. And for some reason, like, I always apologize. And it was so traumatic being in these Facebook groups with other patients because they were trying to tell me, like, no, you weren't, like, you're still sick. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And so I don't have very many of them. And I did another podcast episode on this, like, years ago, where I had to, like, stop talking to patients and, like, all this. It's just too traumatic, and you got to just do what's best for your own body, you know? So that's what I did. Anyway, they reached out because they saw a video of mine, obviously crying on the internet, saying, you know, help me, I have this disease. They wanted me to share. She was a patient advocate manager. And, you know, I apologized and I said, you know, I don't have this disease anymore, but because of it, I am a huge patient advocate. So, like, if you need anything else, like, let me know. But, like, I obviously can't share my story because I don't have the disease. And I get so many videos from people, video messages and chats and whatever. People reaching out to me because of my crying videos on the internet from when I was sick, still to this day, because they're just coming across content. And when you're searching for answers as a patient, like, you're not looking at dates most of the time. Anyway, so I woke up to that message. As I was going to the doctor, I find out my eardrum burst. I'm running around doing all of these things. I come back to the house and I realize, holy shit, today is the anniversary of me closing all of my cases, like, right after the pandemic. I think we were still in the pandemic. But then it just, like, hit me. And I don't know, I just got really emotional. And I posted a video earlier that came up on my time hop that I shared. And it's what made me write my book. It's what made me, like, keep going and, like, rebrand my podcast, and just, it's helped me keep going. Like, I want to help more people. And I feel like I just needed this reminder today to remind me, like, how strong I am. I know I am, and I know that you know that you're a strong person, but you're going every day, and sometimes you just need reality to, like, smack you in the face. My eardrum bursting, to slow the fuck down and remember the bad bitch that you are, why you're here, and that you're so strong and you can do anything. God, I haven't done a crying internet video in a really long time. Anyway, my gut told me to do this, so I'm doing it. And I've never done a 10-minute long video on TikTok. So I'm also wearing, like, my brand new robe that my friend got me, and I'm obsessed. My sheets are clean. I'm going to read a book. I'm drinking my water because I can't have my delicious Lagunitas for the next 7 days. I'm lubed up in skincare. My new lip oil from Daiso that I randomly found that's amazing for my chapped lips. I'm going to just, like, relax because I honestly still feel like I haven't relaxed since, like, 2016. Is that insane? It's so insane. So I'm going to start doing more of that. And obviously ice roll the shit out of my face tonight. Anyway, if you needed someone to remind you that you're not alone in anything that you are going through and to believe in the signs of the damn universe, this is your video, my friend. Believe in yourself. You are strong MF, and never ever give up. No matter what you are going through, never give up. Good talk.